little bit over an hour ago, Kyrie Irving has been traded to the Boston Celtics. Yes, and it's for all-star guard Isaiah Thomas with Jay Crowder, Zizic, and an unprotected Brooklyn pick. Now, I think a lot of people look at this that the Celtics have won this trade. I'm still picking the Cavs to go to the finals this year, but obviously the Eastern Conference is a little bit more interesting. Maybe we might see LeBron not make it, but I still doubt it. I still value a power forward who's extremely talented as LeBron versus guards, just because I still think that power forwards or forwards in general are more valuable than guards in my opinion. But overall, when you look at Isaiah Thomas is a winner. Now, when it comes to Isaiah Thomas, I personally really like Isaiah Thomas. When I look at his personality, I really see a winner right there, and I see a guy that can really play with character. When he lost his sister and how he played in the NBA playoffs, I thought he did a pretty good job playing. The fact that he played through the fact that his sister died, not his daughter, but his sister died, that just shows a lot of power right there. How he moved up out of the change from Sacramento, who is a disastrous organization. And I look at him, I really like him, but at the same time, though, he reminds me to another player who I've been very critical of in the NBA. And if you know who that is, that's Russell Wilson. And I consider Russell Wilson overrated. I'll put the link in the description if you are interested. But whenever I look at it, I still think Russell Wilson's a good player, and I still think Isaiah Thomas is a good player. But though, I look at this and think to myself that obviously I still think he's going to be pretty successful out there in Cleveland, because one thing for sure is LeBron works a lot better with guards than he does with the forwards and the centers. Whenever I see a forward or a center play with LeBron, they usually just feel as if they fade away. For instance, if you look at Chris Bosh and Kevin Love, they didn't play very well, and whenever LeBron was in Miami or if he's with Cleveland, I just feel like the tall guys that shoot don't have good chemistry with him naturally. But ideally, it's hard to kind of spread the ball around sometimes. So as I see, I look at this trade, and the Celtics are definitely getting themselves a star player. I look at Kyrie Irving. I definitely have my ups and downs with him. I feel like if you stay with the Cavaliers, you have to have a team to compete with the Golden State Warriors. You just have to. And the Golden State Warriors have a unfairly good team, and it's for a stupid reason, that the fact that Kevin Durant basically pansy out to basically play for the winner. I'm not a big Kevin Durant fan, obviously, but he's obviously still a great player. But you still need a player in there, and Isaiah Thomas kind of doesn't help you there. Yes, the Brooklyn pick helps you get younger. Now, I look at the Brooklyn pick is very important because LeBron does want to play with younger players, I definitely feel, because at the same time, when he's playing with younger players, because he's getting up there in age, so he needs to compensate with that. But he already had that with Kyrie, but unfortunately, Kyrie wants to get himself traded. Now, when it comes to this, I think Kyrie Irving can be a star player. I think I've seen him, even though I don't agree with him, just leaving Cleveland and all that. I remember him in that Game 7 in the NBA Finals when they were underdogs and they came back against the Golden State Warriors. I saw a lot from LeBron James right there, and I saw a lot from Kyrie Irving hitting that big three right there, because LeBron, he's not known for hitting those big threes, and I think Isaiah Thomas has that in him, but at the same time, you're getting a guy with a high receiving ceiling with Kyrie Irving. He's also, I believe, like 6 inches taller than Isaiah Thomas, so you're definitely getting something there. Overall, though, you're still getting a good player with Isaiah Thomas. I just feel as if that you need to get younger, you get a player there. Now, I feel as if you're on the side that Cleveland should get younger, you definitely think that you wish that the Cavs traded to the Suns for Devin Booker and Dragon Bender and maybe a first-round pick right there, because you're getting obviously a much younger right there with Devin Booker and Dragon Bender versus Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder and whatnot. So, but at the same time, those tall guys that shoot don't really play well with LeBron James. I just don't see them play up to their full potential, and I think that could definitely be hard. I know some people say Devin Booker's the next Kobe Bryant. I hate these comparisons. I hate how people say Buddy Hield's the next Steph Curry. It's just next Steph Curry. You're putting a really, really high ceiling on these guys that really don't quite deserve it. And I just think that that's the reason why they didn't make the trade, but however they want to go younger. And also, LeBron, he could go to LA. He gets Lonzo Ball, gets a good mentor in LeBron James, even though LeVar Ball is just a douchebag and probably would try to get away with that. But obviously LeBron went to the Lakers game, and it seems quite evident that he might become a Laker. I think that when he went to that preseason, that summer league game, however you want to call it, he went there and he was quite interested. So I definitely think it's quite possible he goes there and all of that. Now, when it comes to this, I definitely look at how this can definitely shape it up, because then you're just making a more powerful conference of the West if LeBron just leaves again away from the East. The East is will have the Celtics. Maybe the East might be interesting, but you're talking about a really weak conference right there. And ideally the Celtics, yes, they look good and all, but I think Kyrie Irving can be a star player. And when I look at that, him being a star player is quite possible. I think he does have that ceiling with him, and with Gordon Hayward, he can be that. I think Al Horford, he's a good player. He's not a great player. He's good. You definitely do have something interesting here, but I would definitely prefer the superstar over the depth right here. And they really need to emerge into a superstar, both Hayward and Irving, and I'm not sure if they're going to do that. Now, is Thomas a superstar? I wouldn't say he's a superstar player. He's definitely a depth piece on a championship team. I don't think he's going to be a six-man. I think he's much better than a six-man. But obviously, if you look at it, will you say that his defense isn't great? Yes, his defense isn't great. But hey, James Harden didn't have great defense either. And he ended up being a great player for the Houston Rockets. Even though I'm not a big James Harden guy, he's still a very good player. But I look at this, I think Isaiah Thomas can play. But they have to get younger. This really is putting in more because they're going to get the Brooklyn picks. But I think that you're looking at this, LeBron's going to leave Cleveland once again. And I look at that, and he's going to go to LA. And not only does that make the East have no one to compete with the Golden State Warriors, you also have just the West just going out there, just trying to beat them that way. And then you have this really cupcake conference of the East, and you just have them being run by the Boston Celtics, most likely. So, as I see from this trade, I definitely think that the Celtics have won this trade. I think that Cleveland might have had to make this trade, but I really don't like how Dan Gilbert's attitude on this. I really don't. I think that Dan Gilbert wasn't really being that assertive, talking maybe Kyrie Irving out of it. I don't think he made necessarily the best move possible, but hey, I don't think he could if he didn't have many options. I'm not sure if many people wanted Kyrie Irving at all, but I look at this and think to myself, Dan Gilbert, I hate his attitude. When he was talking about how, oh, we understand, I just think to myself, listen, look, it's not bad to be a nice guy and all at times, but I look at this and think to myself, listen, look, you got to put your foot down and tell Kyrie Irving to shut it. And I look at this, and maybe they should have made the Paul George trades, because Oladipo and this other guy, I think his last name starts with an S, some Bryce or something, I forget, but whatever, he's a no-name. Oladipo's at least decent, he's okay, but overall that's completely the OKC Thunder got themselves a real stud there, and a guy that they don't have to put all the pressure on Russell Westbrook. So, but now if you're looking at Cleveland, maybe if they had a Paul George trade in the bucket, now they're kind of regretting that. And I look at Paul George, I love Paul George, I think he's a great player, and I think they really should have made that. But at the same time, though, I look at this trade, I definitely think Celtics got the better player. They got the player with the higher ceiling. Now all he has to do is develop into that. And the Cavaliers got themselves a nice depth piece, and they got themselves younger with Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah Thomas can be a part of a big three, and I think LeBron would love playing with Isaiah Thomas. A lot of people love Isaiah Thomas. I know Kobe Bryant does, and Kobe Bryant's definitely one of the best basketball players of all time. He's definitely top 5 in my book. I think that's pretty obvious, and I think Kobe Bryant was better than LeBron James, quite frankly. So if you put Isaiah Thomas there, he can make the clutch shot right there. He can. But you use a guy of ceiling, you're losing age right there. Maybe the Brooklyn pick can make up for it, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. I know Cleveland still has to make moves, but hey, maybe Cleveland's already parting away to the next generation of guys. Maybe they're gonna let LeBron go. Maybe that's what it is. They're gonna let LeBron get traded, and they're gonna trade him away, maybe for more younger players, and then build from scratch right there and have Isaiah Thomas kind of milk them through. I know I'm an NFL channel. I'm going to really stick to the NFL, but I think about dabbing into the NBA, talk a little bit more. What do you guys think in the comment section? I'll see you guys next time. Peace.